just continuing some of the notions we've been exploring about classes and how to manipulate and so on. We saw before that we were losing the values when we were basically reusing this class. So to avoid that, let's go back to where we were. So I've gone back to my variable for the class, all hours worked, and hours worked. So all that code is the same, taking hours worked, add it to the list. Before we realized that we took an instance, we called the method, we added hours worked, and the second time we lost it. So to avoid this problem, we can hours worked, HW add hours. This is a little bit laborious, but we can actually take a second instance, 2, and we can say it's the same as instance 1, and then we can say HW2 add hours. Hours worked. And we've now got the two values, the 10 and the 2. And you might be thinking, well, why is that? The reason is contained in the origins of C#, which is really related to C++ and C. And for those that have written in C know that its pointers are very widely used in C. And when you put a variable name into a program, the variable name has in it a point, it addresses the actual pointer to where the data is actually held. So when we actually put HW is new hours worked, this address here is a pointer to the actual data held in memory for the variables related to this, to all hours worked. So what we are then doing is when we make this equal to HW2 is equal to HW, we are passing that same address in memory, or the same address for the pointer, which gives us the actual data item. So in other words, when I get my HW, this is a comment, so my HW actually holds an address for a pointer to the actual data. And then when I get HW2 is equal to HW, that then has the same address for the pointer. An analogy on this would be something like I guess just the word address. The word address is not the actual address. If I say my address is 1 Main Street, what I'm actually saying that's not obviously the actual building itself. That's only a pointer to the building. So if I know that 1 Main Street is my way of describing that, I know I can go to an actual physical location called 1 Main Street. But the 1 Main Street is just, obviously it's just some characters. It's not an actual building. So in the same, as a sort of an analogy, when we talk about pointers, we're referring to the actual location of the data, and hence this will work. So that really is, in a sense, going back in time to how C used to work. Well, how C still does work, but obviously a lot of people wouldn't so much use C these days. They'll use C# and other languages. But basically, it's just to understand that we're using pointers here in effect, and hence we can use this method, this approach.